guest speaker tonight is Michael Weston. And Michael had a 20-year phenomenal career in the resources sector, which came to a grinding halt because of a very serious, significant event. He has since absolutely turned that around because he's now become a motivational speaker, mentor and coach, and he educates leaders across the resources sector throughout the whole of Australia on mental health and well-being. Tonight he's going to share his story, Give to Succeed. So let's welcome Michael.
Great speech, by the way. Is everyone happy that we know someone with a brewery? I am. I'm very happy.
Yes, go get to know them.
How are we all? We all good? I'm going to stand out here if that's okay. I'm going to try and yell as hard as I can out the back. My voice is slowly disappearing today. I'm doing a few talks this week, but I'll do my best. My talk today, I suppose my message to you is I'm going to share with you something I learnt a little bit out of default, I suppose, by mistake. But I found out that you don't have to actually sell to build your business. Giving can build a business. And I've found that it's become very successful, and it's become, I suppose, what I've been doing all my life is being able to help people and give. So I'm hoping to give you some tips today that you might be able to walk away with today and say, you know what, I can do a similar thing in whatever I do in my career or business. A little bit about myself. My name's Michael Weston. I'm 52 years of age. 53 in 1 week. I thought I'd throw that in because probably Katie Jane will say, you're 53. I'm happily married for 27 years. I've got 3 children, adults, 18 to 27 years of age. And this little bit of grey in my chin now represents that I'm a grandfather of 2 grandchildren, a granddaughter and a grandson. So life is pretty good for me. My career background, I had, as Katie Jane said, I had about 20 years in the mining sector, in the commodities like gold and nickel. But 16 of those years was with a company called Rio Tinto, working in the iron ore sector. I'd worked in quite a few places like Paraburdoo, Yandy-Kagina, where I met the lovely Katie Jane. Worked in places like Cape Lambert, and my last role was in a place called Karratha Living and working in Dampier, where I was a maintenance superintendent overlooking 2 ports and then overlooking maintenance shuts. Unfortunately, I had a life-changing event where I sustained a brain injury, an acquired brain injury, and following on from that I was challenged by mental health, anxiety, depression and PTSD, mainly because I had the brain injury and I couldn't do what I used to be able to do, so very frustrating. I relocated with my family down to Perth, and I completed probably 2 years cognitive rehabilitation, speech therapy, psychologist, you name it, I went to it. And I was in I suppose a fork in my life, in my career, where I had 2 ways I could go. I could either feel sorry for myself and say, well, I'm permanently disabled with a brain injury and mental health challenges. So should I just be a disabled person at home, earning money from the government? Or should I go against all the odds and go the other pathway? It was a little bit rocky, and against all the beliefs of my OT, occupational therapist and speech therapist, and become a speaker, a motivational speaker. Quite ironic. But I did. I was in career sabotage, as I learnt from Katie Jane. This lady got in touch with me, Katie Jane, through LinkedIn, and said, haven't heard from you for a while. She asked 3 questions. She said, how are you? Do you want to get better? And would you like me to help you?
Wow.
If the answer is yes, it's on the 4th of February 2016. I know because I researched that before I got a very But she asked me those questions. I got quite a lot of anxiety thinking I don't want to push myself. I had that pathway, the rocky pathway, but I took it. And Katie Jane from there coached me. And from there on, I started my own business. It was very rough going and I was in and out of sabotage, never understanding how I can get this business moving. No one wanted to hear from Michael Weston. Again, my coach spoke to me, you're in career sabotage again. You need to come to networking. Networking. I apologise, I can see some faces now. I'm looking at you right now and I can't remember your name behind the man in the... Yes. Yes, sorry, I forget names, and you were here too. I was the 1950s vacuum salesman when I came to networking. I had no idea what networking was about. I had anxiety, I couldn't put a sentence together, but Katie Jane stood by me. It took me, 3 months to get to one, even to the point as I'd drive down the freeway and turn around and come back. But very supportive. Katie Jane says, in your own time, you'll get there. So I turned up with my business cards and my vacuums, and I was handing out cards, trying to listen to people's stories and their journeys and what learnings I was going to get from them, but I was too busy selling the vacuums. You know, I look back now and I don't get embarrassed by it, but I'd have learned from that, you know. But I learned what networking was all about over a period of time. It was about sharing, giving, learning. So I turned around and I thought, you know what? I did a bit of research and I found out that networking, if you take a friend, hey, guess what Katie Jane says? Bring a friend. You can meet people with a friend, learn things. But I was just relaxed. I took it as the approach that I was just going to meet people. And from there on, I found that I was giving more and more of myself. And then I found a very big plus. Everything that I was doing in my life, throughout my life, I've always gived. I've always thought of everyone else first. I've always done everything for everyone bar myself. And I found through networking, by giving, I didn't have to become that salesman. In business, I've found throughout the time is I don't actually do any cold selling anymore. Because I'm forever giving to people, whether it be sharing my knowledge, sharing opportunities that I come across and I think, hey, I might share that with Rob. I might share that with yourself, Ben. It's all those things that people think, oh, that's what a great idea. Oh, he thought of me, or he shared that knowledge, or volunteering your time to give to someone or an organisation. But what I found was I was that little spot in business and I was wondering, how am I going to build this selling vacuums? It's just not going to work. But I found the more I gave, guess what? Everyone was building their network. I was helping them in their career or their business. Their network grew, and guess what? They all came back to the centre. And I became this little lich in the space to a Milky Way, if you like. So I really encourage, and there was something from John Gordon, he's a businessman in America, he says, you're not a true success unless you're helping others to be successful. And my 3 tips here is share knowledge, it's free. A lot of people try to keep things tight to their chest. I'm not going to tell too much. I don't know if you know Katie Jane the way I know Katie Jane, but she doesn't stop giving. It took me a long time to come around and say, this is what she's been doing all this time. It's right in front of me. But share your expertise. And if you find or come across opportunities, think of everyone within your network and see who that would fit, how that would help them. You know, it's amazing by helping someone grow in their career or their business, it'll come back threefold. And volunteering your time. I can tell you now I'm a ambassador and speaker for Beyond Blue, and I do a lot of charity work for the West Australian Association of Mental Health, WAM. And I thought, okay, I'll give a little bit of work and, you know, do a bit of volunteer work. The work that I've got threefold from that, from people that I've given to an organisation, and the contacts a lot of these people have on boards and that, the first person they think of is the person that is giving, and that's come back to me. All three support the person I strive to be, and as a result has helped me, my business success. I'm happy to say today that it's been a while since I've been to this one because I've been quite busy. That's an excuse that it is of my voice is, you know, showing that. But the last time I was sharing success with everyone, I said, I've got it in my plan, I've got a milestone there, and my goal is to double my income in the business on year 2. I broke both 2 feet. I broke both feet about 5 months ago, and I did work for it quite a bit. But I've been able to turn that round, and I'm looking at by March this year as doubling my income in my business.
Wow. That is phenomenal.
Today is, if I can do it, you can do it. Thank you very much for helping.
Amazing. Amazing.
But I don't know a brewery. I know someone that does.
Let's give Michael a round of applause. I didn't share this because I didn't want to steal your thunder. We're not finished with you yet. So, our Ambitious Leaders networking event started in October 2017 in this very room. We haven't been in this room for a while. We're normally in a bigger room. It's kind of nostalgic, isn't it?
I forgot to share that.
Yeah, so the very first event we had, there's a few people in the room that were there for that event. Dean, were you at the first one or the second one? The second one. Yeah. So Michael was at the first event, and it was the first time he had been to he put it like this, a work situation. Not quite work here, but a work situation for 3 years after he had that significant event. I hadn't seen Michael for 10 years, and when he was in this room and he shared his win for the night, he actually had a speech impediment. He wasn't speaking like he normally did. And he shared with the group that it was his first time out in 3 years, and he actually, in a working environment, and he won the Ambitious Leader for the month. He got recognised, and we'll have an Ambitious Leader for the month tonight. And as a result of that, at the next event, I was having my very first guest speaker, the first one that I ever had, and I decided that why not have Michael come and share his story about what happened to him. And so he came along and spoke at this event 2 years ago this month.
With speech impediment.
Yeah. And shared his story, Head Above Water. And that's right, Head Above Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was 2 years ago. It was his very first speaking gig. And now he is a professional speaker, speaking all across Australia. And to have creating an income level like you have done is just phenomenal. Starting your own business is a lot of hard work. So it's a credit to you. And it's absolutely amazing to have you back 2 years later.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success. And I had no idea about what he shared about those messages. So let's give Michael a round of applause.